Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Please help me welcome Helen of Irish Granny Helen. Hey.
Thank you, Marina. I will keep my hands inside the boat at all times.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay. So fun to get together again.
I know it is. We always have such great discussions. We really do. And I will thank you, everyone, for being here with us. Thank you, Moonchild, Elizabeth, Juniper Vale, Jackie B, Ten of Swords, those of you that are just kind of lurking. Thank you for being here. I will apologize. I do have a lozenge in my mouth, and I will probably continue with the lozenge. If I disappear off the screen, it just means I'm having a little coughing fit, and you don't need to witness it. So it sounds a lot worse than it is. I do feel a whole lot better. So there's that.
And this is just the beginning of flu season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I'm hoping that if I get it over with now, then I don't have to worry about it again.
Oh, you're so naive.
I'm such an optimist. Always the optimist. Yes. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. And I have Helen's info is all listed in the description of the video. So make sure that you go over and do the like, share, and subscribe on her channel, because it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Now, having said that, we are getting close to the gift giving season. So I'm going to highlight my wonderful bracelets.
Oh, I didn't know you made bracelets. I am so unobservant and unaware.
Those don't make bracelets. These are actually from Otter Spirit. They're out of California. And they make these bracelets. They're absolutely fabulous.
Beautiful, yeah.
Quality is fantastic. They're all AA, AAA bracelets. And look, you get them in this wonderful little box.
Oh, very nice. Are they real stones?
Real stones.
Oh, that's nice.
Real stones.
Yeah.
And so I've accumulated so many that I've actually put little tags so that I know what it is, and I can look at it and decide which ones that I want. So this particular set that I'm wearing today, this is the Joy set, and it comes with, hold on, this is Morganite. I don't know if you can see the color, but it's almost like soft pastel, blue, purple, pink.
From a distance, it looks white.
Yes, but there is, trust me, there's color. This one is citrine, and this one is peridot.
You know what you're wearing?
You're
wearing the colors of the Irish flag: green, white, and gold. You didn't even know it.
And I didn't even know it. There you go.
Great.
Yes. So these are they're fabulous, fabulous bracelets. Now, the reason that I have partnered up with them for this is $1 from every sale of either an individual bracelet or a set, like these come as a set of 3, goes towards maintaining the sea otters in Monterey Bay, which they were very close to being extinct. And so they have, with the management and with the support of this organization, as well as a couple others, they are now sort of the numbers are increasing, so they're back. So this is their little, you see that little sea otter?
Yes.
And each one of the bracelets has a little sea otter tag.
Oh,
right? So fabulous. Now, I will put on here for you guys if you are interested. If you're interested, you can go and here you go. Um, use the Heart Center Tarot link to go check out Otter Spirit. Check out some of their other fabulous, fabulous bracelets that they have. They've got necklaces, they've got rings, earrings. You can get zodiac jewelry and so on. Excellent quality, 2-year warranty on them. Okay. Now, where are you going to go and buy a piece of jewelry that they're going to give you a 2-year warranty on it? Right. So if you go on there and you use my code and you make a purchase, use promo code HeartSem20, you get 20% off. And if you purchase more than $99 worth, use the promo code HeartSem30 and you get 30% off. Now, considering that we're getting close to the holiday spirit, and right, three bracelets that come in a set. This is the way my mind thinks. Ooh, that's 3 individual gifts.
And you can coordinate like the color of their birthstone, even if it's not exactly their birthstone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because each one of these is, it's a little different. So, I can, this can be, me and my nieces. It can be, me and my sister and whatever. But think of it that way. So there's, I'll take that down. So there you go. If you guys want to go and check it out.
Well, since we're doing show and tell, I'm going to show you something. This is what I've been doing with my free time. My neighbor across the street, they're only staying temporarily. They had a baby the other day, their first baby. So now the color on this picture is bad because the top of the hat is really a bright green. And I don't know what happened. I think it was just the light, but look, a little pumpkin hat.
Oh, that is adorable.
Isn't that the cutest thing in the world?
It is.
And I made them for my grandchildren a couple of years ago, and I've actually gotten requests to upsize because they've grown out of them. They're very popular. Made one for a neighbor, an adult, and she said, Helen, people stop me every day to ask me, where did you get that hat? They're so easy to make. Yeah.
Well, there's
just fun. Just fun. So happy Valentine's Day. Happy Halloween. Whatever holiday it is.
Yeah. We've got next weekend, we're celebrating Thanksgiving here in Canada.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. And so
we're not celebrating much. No comment.
No comment. Yeah. Maybe you'll have an opportunity to celebrate something, it'll be Thanksgiving like, oh, thank God he's gone.
Yeah, well, I'm Eeyore, and my gut doesn't agree with that. I don't think that will. It might change a little bit of some of the superficial stuff, but I think the people that are already in place, the damage that's been done to this large bureaucracy is not remedial for a very long time. I think it won't make it'll make a difference in the sense that the cult followers will be affected, but the people who are really pulling the strings, they're still there.
They are still there. They are still going to be there for a while. And my impression is that what they are going through right now is they're picking a new leader behind the scenes. They know that this one is basically gone, right? His days are very, very numbered. It's like he's, let's talk about hours instead of, days and days. So I think that they're looking at new leadership, how that's going to go. The only unfortunate thing is that a lot of the diehard megas are devoted to that one person.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Without that one,
shockaroo, right?
yes, yeah. Without that one person, they're probably not going to be willing to go along with a lot of things. And doesn't it feel like that the more that I'm listening or seeing the news, the more that I'm witnessing people in panic mode. That they're,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, not sure what to do next. They're they're getting more and more. There's more vitriol. There's more hatred. There's more, holding on to the last little shreds of.
Well, I was telling you, and
Mhm.
some of the people that I associate with quite a bit
Yes.
were agreeing with me about this. People are really in fear and
Mhm.
really stressed out for a lot of practical reasons, but also these large, hard to name, what the uncertainty, and the fear and what they see happening to other people,
Mhm.
and they're lashing out. And so if you, as a reader, as a YouTube channel, if you say what you really think, people are getting very aggressively nasty. It's really
Mhm.
bad. And I'm not one to sugarcoat. This is not
Yeah,
something that I made up based on, I don't know, Entertainment
I
Tonight or
know.
something. This has been
Yeah,
coming since I was a little kid. I've known
yeah,
this was coming.
yeah,
And all I can say is that
yeah.
the number two guy was bought and paid for by big tech.
Mhm.
And they have placed themselves so that they are pulling strings, both like propaganda media
Yeah.
and financially, and in different aspects of the actual gears of the government. Uh, you heard of the Dark Enlightenment?
Mhm.
That's the goal. And they're working hand in hand with the white Christian nationalists, Mike Johnson, because it suits them. But there's going to
Yes.
come a time when they're going to go at each other like wolverines. And that
Absolutely.
time is rapidly approaching.
Yes.
But
Absolutely it
what they
is.
ultimately want is the end of democracy and a corporate monarchy, like a
Mm.
CEO who's like a king. So I was listening to Professor Corey Brettschneider. I can't say his name. He is a professor of the Constitution at Brown University, and he's
Mhm.
written a number of books. He's got a great podcast called The Oath and the Office with John Fugelsang.
Mhm.
And yeah, who's wonderful. And his most recent episode this last couple of days, he came out and said, by any stretch of the definition, we are in a dictatorship. Period. Come out of the
Mhm.
denial. It's not completely irremediable at this point,
Yes.
but the clock is ticking really loudly, and we have to encourage what's left of our leadership to do something,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
or
Sitting
it's going to
back
be in
and
our
talking
hands.
about it, writing strongly worded letters. I no, give that up. That's not going to happen. Give
We
it
have to
up.
get out in the
And,
streets and
yeah.
protest peacefully,
Yes.
But
Yeah.
things like strikes and boycotts and peaceful protests, those are the kinds of things that get things done.
Yes.
If there's enough unity,
Yes.
that's the problem.
Yes. Yeah. And there has to be. There has to be.
And people right now, I think the feeling I get is people are emotionally exhausted
Yes.
and afraid, and it makes it really hard to motivate anybody. I know we ask ourselves, well, what can I do? I'm an old lady, what can I do? Well, that's what we can do, is we can show up, and
Yeah.
that's scary,
Exactly.
really
Exactly.
scary.
Exactly. It is totally, totally.
Right now they're preparing to enact the Insurrection Act in Chicago. So, yeah, no comment.
Yeah, it. I think that yeah, they're putting out um, feelers to see just how many people are going to stand up and say, "Oh hell no," and how many people are just going to go, "Well, nothing I can do about it. It is what it is."
Their
Well,
big mistake, I think, was putting a lot of faith in being able to reel people in with false promises of
yes,
lower prices,
yes,
etc. And they're not delivering.
no,
Believe me, they're not delivering. I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in Europe and comparing how much things cost. And he was like, are you kidding me? I told him when my husband was sick, I had to order a delivery of groceries, which I would never do. It's exorbitant to pay for that.
yes,
2 bags, 2 plastic bags of groceries, $100.
yeah, yeah, and you probably consciously chose what was going in there
Oh
based on.
yeah. Oh yeah. The
Mhm,
basics.
mhm,
Absolutely the basics. Nothing fancy. No
yeah,
alcohol, no chocolate. More is the pity. No
yeah,
coffee, none of the high end
and
stuff, just vegetables and milk and yeah,
yeah, the
bread.
regular. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I get it. And thank you. Thank you for those of you who have recently joined us. We've got Jana Fallon is here, Innocent Potato, Susan Rotella, Ten of
That's a great name.
Sword. Yes. Jackie B, Judy's Healing Fire. Hello. And Ten of Swords. Oh, I hope you didn't catch my cold. I hope you didn't.
Just
And if
don't
you
breathe in my
did,
direction.
yeah, if you did, I am so sorry. But the blue states, hold on. Anybody see an article this week in The Guardian about how the blue states could form a compact by invitation only and include DC and Puerto Rico as states to create a new constitution?
We're headed in that direction. So the
Mhm.
3 Western
Yeah.
Pacific states have formed
Yes.
a health alliance.
Yes.
The Western Health Alliance, they're just, forget you guys. We're going to do this on our own. The
Yes.
state of California alone has the fourth highest, what's it called?
GDP?
Yeah, thank you. I'm a financial idiot, so
No.
they are economy. That's the word.
Economy.
They're fourth largest economy in the world,
Yes, ma'am.
much than a whole lot more than a whole lot of countries
Yes.
have. So there is that argument to be made that what are we really benefiting from this relationship that we have? Hate to say
Yeah.
it, but it may come to that. People need to understand that there has been a movement afoot for quite a while now, a number of years, to have a new constitutional convention.
Yes.
And in order to do that, you have to have a certain number of states sign on. And I'm going to make up a number, give or take 1 or 2, like 34.
Yeah.
And they have almost that many. And when they achieve the number they need, then it's mandatory to have the convention. That's written into the Constitution, I think. So at that point, they can completely rewrite the law of the land. The problem is the people who are doing this, white Christian nationalists.
Yeah.
Very, very
So
scary. This
yeah. So it's not enough to say, yeah, people are doing it. You want to make sure that the right people
yeah.
are doing it.
Yeah.
Um, the you don't want to jump from the frying pan into the fire,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
So it's a matter of being conscious of who these people are and what their particular motivation is.
Yeah.
And I've said many times in the past, if you want to get an idea of some of the things that you're facing, watch The Handmaid's Tale,
Oh my
because
God.
it doesn't get any closer. It doesn't get any more real than what is happening or what had happened in the Handmaid's Tale.
That book came out in
Mm,
1984. 1985.
Yeah.
And I told my husband, this is going to happen in our lifetime. And, his reactions, yes, dear. You
Of
know?
course it
And
will.
so now I take some kind of malign pleasure in reminding him as often as I can. See what I
Yeah.
mean? I told you it was going to happen, and it is. It's predictable. I think Margaret Atwood
Oh,
is prescient. Did you ever read her books about the environment?
no, I don't think that. Oh, maybe I did.
They have funny names. I don't remember the names. And they're fictional, but they're based on the reality of environmental degradation. And she predicts things that are going to happen.
Mm,
And a lot of it is about genetic experimentation that escapes from the lab. And they're actually
yes.
creatures, But yeah, has a little
Mm,
touch of the ESP, I think.
yeah. Yes, she
Yeah.
does. Yes, she does. The fact that she could write such a novel like The Handmaid's Tale, and to, you know, some books you can say, well, it was kind of like blah blah, like this, it was similar to this. No,
It's
this
identical.
identical. The commanders, the wives who just
Trad wives. Yeah.
yeah.
She wrote a sequel to it called The Testaments.
Yes, and
And
I
it's like
can't wait for it to come out.
it's out. It's
No,
out.
no, I mean the show.
Oh, are they making a show?
Yes.
It is fascinating. It's like diaries and letters
Yes.
of the people who went through it, the women who went through it, and they collect them as sort of a primary source record of what happened. It's really scary.
Totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Innocent Potato, I love this.
I
Yeah.
know.
She said, yeah, she buys her oranges from California. Florida companies send me requests to buy Florida oranges. And
Ooh.
I don't buy oranges from red states. Bye.
Snap.
Good for you. Exactly. Exactly. You know what? I'm sure that the person that you're talking to probably doesn't want to make that call and say, hi, they're just a salesperson.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to be told so that they can take the message to their managers and say, people, no, I'm hearing people don't want to buy because we are a red state. That's why they're going somewhere else. They're paying more to get it shipped from somewhere else than they are here. That's how you have an impact on things,
Mhm.
is you make decisions based on the effect that it is going to have on someone else. Okay.
My husband is a very quiet person. We're the opposite, and and he is not very outward going about his opinions. Unless you ask him, and then he's more than happy to tell you.
Yes.
So he sent me a copy. He said, "Look what I just did." He went online. This is maybe 2 weeks ago, and canceled our Hulu Disney thing. And
Mhm.
apparently, there's like a form to fill out. And at the very end, it had about 10 choices, reasons why I'm quitting, and you could pick the reasons. And then there was an empty space, other.
Other.
And oh my God, you should have heard what
Yeah.
he said. It was epic. I've never been so proud.
Yes.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
great. And that's what you have to
mine
do.
is
You vote with your pocketbook.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And it, I stopped, I think it was in December or January that I stopped shopping at Walmart. Like, no, I will go down the road. I will consciously pay more for something that I know that the money is being kept in Canada, or most of it is being,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
kept in Canada. And I've noticed over the last number of months that what used to be a very full parking lot isn't quite so full.
Thank you. I'm grateful to our Canadian neighbors. Thank you.
Yes,
The world needs to let its opinion be known. And, you
absolutely.
know, we may personally suffer in the short term as individuals, but these are important issues and people need to take a stand. Yeah.
Exactly. And I know I've had people question me and say, well, yeah, it's an American company, but the people that are working at your local Walmart are fellow Calgarians, fellow Albertans, they're Canadians. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand that this is affecting them, but maybe they need to rethink about where it is that they're going to be spending their time, and are they going to be supporting a company that is not really doing things for their
For
benefit.
human being. They're not at all. You know, Starbucks recently, like just in the last 2 weeks, shut down some of their fancy stores. I've actually never been in one of them because they got invented before I boycotted. I haven't been in a Starbucks in 6 or 7 years, but they, what do they call them? Roastery? Is that right? Is that the right word? Where I think they actually roasted coffee while you could buy
Oh,
coffee. I mean, it was fancy, right?
hmm,
And do you
yeah.
know why they did that?
Hmm.
Because they targeted places that tried to unionize.
Oh,
So this is my advice. I believe the coffee is at the top of the food pyramid and at the bottom too. I mean, it's
mhm,
running through my veins, right? So I love
yeah,
good coffee. And I made a decision probably about 6 years ago.
yeah.
I was done. When I heard that the CEO of Starbucks makes over 400 times an hour what the ordinary worker
Yes,
does, I thought, okay, that's enough. So I
yeah,
spent about $80 and I bought the bottom of the line espresso machine. A
yes.
little, it just enough power to make a decent cup of espresso. And I've never looked back. It cost me about $80. I've had
Mhm.
to replace it twice. Actually, I replaced it once. Then I thought it was pooping out and replaced it again, but I haven't even opened the new box because it revived. I don't know what
Revive.
happened.
Yeah,
But if you
yeah.
keep it cleared out, they work for a
Yes.
long, long time. And $80 over, let's say, a 4-year period. Let's just to
Yeah.
round things up. So that's $20 a year.
A
You
year.
could spend that in 2 weeks if you bought coffee on a regular basis at the store.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry that people are
Mhm,
not going to have jobs, but if we don't take a stand,
mhm, mhm.
we're all going to be working in the gulag.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And we're not going to have much choice.
that's
And
right.
yeah. So um, I was, I don't know if you can hear it, but somebody's car alarm has been going off
No.
at the last 5 minutes.
Oh,
And
don't feel badly. It's always really quiet here. My neighbor is a paramedic and his wife is the 911 operator, young couple. They're never home. They're always quiet. He's out on the front lawn playing baseball. You can't, I've never seen him do that before. Perfect timing.
there you go. There you go. So, yeah, I was quickly reading earlier about Pam Bondi and her testimony in front of Congress.
How'd that go?
Um, Typically, what you would expect of Pam Bondi, which is a lot of BS, entertainment purposes only. What do I know?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, a lot of BS, a lot of don't look here, look over there. A lot of yes, Rose Blue refusal to answer. I'm not going to discuss that with you, Senator. I'm not going to discuss that with you, Senator. Who the hell do you think you are?
Oh, she thinks she's the attorney general. Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I between her and Cash Patel, Do you ever meet one of those people that upon meeting them, you just wanted to slap them upside the head for no particular reason? They haven't
Now,
even,
usually there's a good reason.
yeah, it's he's one of those people. Yeah, that energy
Yeah.
and the look on his face that, it's like,
Well,
why are you fighting?
Marina, I try so hard not to laugh because I can only
Mhm,
imagine what people are saying about my googly eyes. I feel like there's so much egregious wrong with these people
mhm.
that you could talk 24/7 for the next 100 years and never even get to their appearance. You know what I mean? And,
Yes,
and you know what it is? It's the nasty oozing out of their pores. That's what it
yes,
is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. They they are an example of a lot of things that are wrong with the morals of society. The, I can do whatever I want because I know what I'm doing. You can't do the same thing because I don't trust you. But you need to listen to me when I'm telling you what I'm doing.
Well, my loyalty lies with something other than the Constitution or the people of the.
Mhm,
They have created this false dichotomy where they're the right and the
mhm,
people are the enemy. It's shocking. Do you know that cash potato? Okay, the FBI is located in Virginia, way over
mhm.
that side. Well, I don't know. You're turned around, but do you know where he lives?
I don't.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yes.
What? How do
Hmm.
you run an
Hmm.
agency? I couldn't think of the word. An agency that massive and that
Hmm.
consequential, and you're at the baccarat table in Vegas
Exactly. And
watching Celine Dion.
that's so he can get on that private plane, and he can, he's allowed to visit home. That was one of the questions that he was asked during his testimony. It was about him um, flying a private jet, and that was his attitude was, yeah, and I'm allowed to go home. Okay, like everybody else, I can go home. And you know whose idea it was for me to take private? It wasn't my idea. It was Congress's idea.
Hmm.
Entitled much?
Well, you know that something interesting to note is that private jets are by far the largest polluters. There's some ridiculously out of balance percentage. I'm going to quote a percentage, and I'm probably a little
Mhm.
bit off, but not much. Like 90% of the pollution is made by 10% of the people. It's
Exactly.
insane. The first hour you fly a private jet, enormous amount of pollution coming out of
Mhm.
it, and they use them for short hops, like Zuckerberg and those guys. They'll use
Yeah.
them to go from Los Gatos to San Francisco. Yeah, it's crazy.
Mhm.
Um, there's a disregard, a disconnect. And
Yeah.
who was I talking to? Or was it? I don't think it was you. Was saying one of these representatives was confronted about the kind of pollution, and his attitude was, "Well, I don't care. I'm not going to be here.
Exactly.
Yeah, in the future." Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm going to make sure that my life is as fabulous as it can be without any consequences. Because yeah, when I die, I don't care what happens to everybody else. Yeah. And yes, while they collect environmental charities and, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that. No, they're not. It's just a
No,
grip.
Sam Bankman, who I'm not even entirely sure who he is, but I read this in a book recently about it's called Mastering the Universe, and it's about the rich and the
Mhm.
economic disparity, the inequity. And he said, it made me feel good because I have badmouthed Bill Gates since day one. Uh,
Mhm.
I believe his philanthropy is performative. And Sam Bankman said, all this philanthropy that we all do, PR.
Of course. Of course. Everything is to keep the wealth where it is. And the BS story that they have convinced a lot of people of is the value of that money. If we believe that, people who are millionaires, billionaires, multi-billionaires, that they are somehow, they have access to more than we do, that wealth gives them privilege, then it's like we are encouraging them to do what it is that they're doing. What if we change our mind and said, you know what? You can billionaire? Why don't you be a gazillionaire? A bazillionaire, gazillionaire, billionaire. Why don't you be one of those? Because we no longer put the value on the money that we do.
Well, there's so much starstruck worship of rich people. An example I think would be perfect. Ride horses across the golf greens. Yeah, I don't play golf. What is that? Anyway, things like the Met Gala.
Mm-hmm.
That's to me, that's a perfect example of egregiously conspicuous consumption. And the tickets were an outrageous amount of money, and you have to be invited, and then you get to pay the outrageous amount of money. And why are they doing this? To be seen. If they tell you it's for philanthropy, a tiny bit, but for most it's to be seen. And these are the same people that went to Bezos' wedding and the guy in India the year before, the richest man in Asia, his son's wedding, where they cleared people off the streets so that the wedding guests wouldn't have to see the poor.
Yes. Yeah. Because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. More and more, I am I'm drawn to the feeling of the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution.
I love you said that. I lately I've been saying they all ought to be having an uncomfortable feeling right around here, Really?
Yeah, because that is
it's where we're headed.
Yeah. I think that unless people wake up and do something, and there is a redistribution of the wealth and resources, because there is more than enough for everyone. Okay. If they don't come around to that, they're going to be in a position where someone is going to make that decision for them, where they're going to find that there's your wealth can protect you only so much. And then after that, everyone has a weak spot. Everyone has a point at which they will do things that are maybe not aligned with their highest purpose. So if you've got somebody who's they're the bodyguard to someone who is fabulously wealthy and whatnot, but their children are suffering or whatnot, they can be turned around. You can encourage them to, well, if I come up this road and I get to this point and I turn my lights off and on so that you can see I'm there, are you willing to look the other way? Are you willing to go grab a coffee? Are you willing to? And how many of them, would look around and go, yeah, I can do that.
Well, Caligula was murdered by the Praetorian Guard, his own bodyguard. And what really kicked off the actual active French Revolution was the mothers who rioted for bread. They stormed, I think they stormed Versailles, and then there was the Bastille, and but it was the mothers who just got, oh no, I'm not going to watch my children starve. I've had it. Yeah. It comes to that when people become really desperate, when they feel that their survival is threatened. We put up with a lot.
Yes.
You know, we put up with the Kardashians for years and years. To me, they're sort of the representative of what we're talking about. Yeah. This just unnecessary, conspicuous consumption. Yeah. And they may or may not be very philanthropic. I don't know. I'm not saying that they are or they aren't, but the amount of money. Well, here's what I'm getting at. Truman and Eisenhower, that period after the war, Americans over a certain like millionaire class paid 90% in taxes. 90% in tax, and they walked away with tons of money to play with.
Yes.
And slowly, not slow enough, they whittled that down and whittled it down until now they pay usually zero.
Zero. Yeah.
Yeah, less than the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. And why is that? You would not have that wealth if it wasn't for my labor. If it wasn't for my doing a job that you're paying me next to nothing for.
Well, they don't get that money from their businesses because they're smart business people and they go punch a time clock every day and manage a company. A lot of that, most of that money is capital money. It's the land they own. It's the property and the business and the investments and the stocks and the gold and all that stuff that they own makes money for them while they go gallivanting in their yacht. You know, Jeff Bezos has 2 yachts. His yacht has a yacht. He's got a yacht to play in. And then they have a secondary yacht that goes with it because it has a helipad and it stores their water toys.
Well, I mean, I have the same. Don't you have 2 yachts?
Yeah. That's just mind-boggling, isn't it? It really is. I'll tell you, one of the things that just blew my mind in this book, one whole chapter, was about the conspicuous consumption of the wealthy. And number one, do not watch The Gilded Age because that's a celebration of this exact kind of stuff, right? The first time around. They were talking about some guy's yacht that was bigger than, like, I don't know, 4 football fields or something long, which they can't even park these things anymore. There's only 1 or 2 places in the world. I think Barcelona might be one of them where they can park these things. They're so big. So they had, this yacht had a bar in it, and the bar stools were upholstered in whale foreskin. And I thought, okay, we have crossed the Rubicon. This is too much. I cannot believe it.
I'm not sitting there. I'm not touching it.
Like, disgusting.
It is. And that's what happens when people's wealth or their feeling that they are entitled to whatever they can possibly imagine. That's when they go overboard. That's when it doesn't mean anything. It's just it's consumption for the sake of consumption. Why don't, instead of spending all the money to cover those seats, why didn't you take that money and maybe feed a orphanage?
Well, the book talks about that. The book talks about it. This is generational wealth for the most part. They don't look on the rest of the world as really fully human. They figure the poor get by, they'll be fine. That's the only thought that they give. It's like a different planet.
By choice. All they have to do is just pull their socks up. I mean, You come to America, the land of opportunity. Anyone can become successful and a millionaire and all that bullshit.
Yeah. You're
Well,
not going to see me arguing with you. I agree. It is.
yeah,
It's a bill of goods that they're selling people,
yes,
and you can only mislead people so far.
yeah,
And I think there's a beast awakening. I really do believe that people are starting to say, "Hey, wait a minute. What about all those promises?"
yes.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, exactly. Yeah, there has been a good deal of promises made, that um, they are lying to people about, and until people start asking questions and holding those people responsible for the answer. It's not just, oh, don't tell me, oh, it's a Democrats. Once I got into power and I looked at the numbers, it was the Democrats. I don't care. I don't care. What are you doing at this moment right now to fix it? And if
I'll
the
tell you,
answer is
Marina.
anything other than, oh, well, it's the Democrats, you're gone. I don't want to hear it.
This budget, that bill that they just
Yeah,
passed, that egregious mess of a bill, a monster of a bill, uh, the majority of that money is going into his personal
of course.
militia. It's called ICE, but they're
Yes.
hiring 10,000. And I've noticed lately ads for them. Oh my God, it's so difficult to watch them. And I think that's probably the single most dangerous thing that's happened,
Yes.
because you can control a population with fear. And these guys are hiding their faces and running. What they did in Chicago is incomprehensible, I
Mhm.
think. I think it was a rude awakening for people. Now, they targeted an African American neighborhood, and there were immigrants in that building, but most of the renters or people, inhabitants of the building, were African American
Yes.
or from Hispanic countries. And they went in there in the middle of the night, and for no good reason, every single apartment they went into, they put holes in the drywall and they destroyed personal belongings. They zip tied little children outside.
Yes.
And there was one video on YouTube where a person was saying, "Yeah, I turned to one of these ICE young guys and said, 'What are you doing? These are children.' And his response was, 'F those children.'" So there's a lack of humanity here at play. There's
Yes.
carte blanche. They have been given permission to um, display their worst
Yes.
impulses, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the minute that he came down that escalator, that very first speech, that was what he gave them, was permission to be their most vile self. And he said,
Racist. Yeah.
racist, yeah, all that anger that you have inside, that you can't stand that Negro person is doing something, or that Mexican person is doing something, you're right. You're right. It is their fault. And well, what I said not too long ago was those that are currently in ICE, it will not take long for them to start turning on each other, because even though right now they think that they're living high, they're making the money, by virtue of the fact, the kind of personalities that they are always watching to see who gets that extra sugar cube that I didn't get. And as soon as they spot who that is, they're going to go after that person. So they're going to go after each other. It's like, rats jump.
Wolverines. I always
Yes,
say they're like
Wolverine.
Wolverines.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That
history
too.
history has a lot to teach us. And
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why our education in history and civics has disintegrated is they don't want us to know.
Yeah.
So people want to tell us, don't talk about it being like the 30s in Germany. Well, why not?
It is.
Because it is, right?
Yeah.
Not identical, but close enough.
Mhm.
So one of the things that happened in Germany after the takeover was what Hitler formed the SA, the brown shirts, the SS. These are the
Yeah.
Praetorian Guard, you know,
Yeah.
the illustrious ones with the death skulls, you know.
Yeah.
And then there was the regular, the Wehrmacht, the regular, you know. But after a certain point, they consolidated power. And what did they do? How did they do that? He had what he called the Night of the Long Knives. And he and his chosen few
Yes.
went out and eliminated all of their fellow paramilitary, military thugs.
Mhm.
They Rom, Eric, I think his name was Rom, the guy
Right.
with the saber scar who was in charge of the SA. He got a bullet.
Mhm.
They just eliminated a large number of them because they were consolidating their power.
Exactly.
You don't think that's not going to happen here? All these brave young people with their faces covered, they're in for a rude awakening.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, they are. Because that is, um, it. If you do not learn from history, you're going to repeat it. Nothing needs to be exactly the same.
No, of course not. I mean,
Because it can't, because you're dealing with different people.
right.
But at the same time, if you cannot see the parallel between, what happened in Nazi Germany and what's happening in the US now, that you are choosing willful ignorance.
That's right.
You
We're
are
this weird
choosing.
amalgam of what happened in the 30s in
Yeah.
Germany and what happened yesterday in Hungary. And we're this weird combination of that. So that we're going to have the illusion of democracy, but not really. Not as we would have defined it a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not going to get easier, folks. Everyone is going to have to make that decision for themselves to say, I will not stand idly by. I cannot be silent while something is happening to my neighbor because I'm grateful that it's not happening to me. At least they're leaving me alone. Because you know what? They're going to come after you. And who's going to be there to speak for you?
That's right.
Because
My own children told me, Mom, you're getting too concerned about this. Nobody's going to bother an old white lady. Well, okay. So does that mean that you compartmentalize I mean, I disagree with that. I think that it's
Yes.
already happened, but okay.
Yeah.
But are you going to compartmentalize yourself into your own little shell of your little bubble of safety and pretend you don't see what's happening to your fellow human beings?
Yes.
That's what we're being called to do,
Yes.
is to remain aware and do whatever we can, even if it's just speaking out, even if it's just being aware. But willful ignorance, you're so right, Jana.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I hear, I can't take this, it's too much. Oh, you think I'm having a good time? You think
Yes.
Marina's having a good time? No, this is hard on all of us. We all have a heart and compassion, but we're called to that. And there's nothing, I mean, I'm not a religious person per se, but when I hear about Christians who advocate for this kind of violence because they want to ignore that annoying hippie guy Jesus who talked about love and flowers and all that nonsense, ran around barefoot. They like the Old Testament God of wrath and anger and revenge, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. Can you tell I'm reading John Fugelsang's book? Have you heard of his book?
No.
Do you know who John Fugelsang is?
I might have heard the name. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I'm so happy to spread his name because he's a wonderful person. He is a comedian. He is somebody who is enormously well educated and articulate and very, very funny. He talks about his father, the brother, and his mother, the sister. His father was a Franciscan monk, and his mother was a nun in a leper colony. And they got together, and he was raised. They left, of course. They had children. They raised them very conservative Catholic upbringing, without the vows.
Yes.
And he has this enormous sense of humor. It's so wonderful. He's a lot on television. Although I haven't seen him, I don't watch mainstream television hardly at all anymore. Maybe Lawrence O'Donnell once a week, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But he is a talking head often, and they pit him against the Fox religious conservatives because he's so quick. Well, he just wrote a book called The Separation of Church and Hate. And it's,
okay.
It's so funny. I'm covering it. If anybody wants to know about it, can't afford to buy it or don't have time, they can listen when they're driving. I'm going to start covering it in my Saturday book starting this weekend.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
He was on Stephen Colbert. Okay.
He's been on everything lately.
Then I probably have seen him and just didn't realize who he was.
He used to not cut his hair. He looked a little like Jesus. And he was doing funny videos where he pretended to be Jesus. I think that's what that was all about. Yeah, but he's cleaned up his act because he's on this book tour thing, But I really recommend his book. It's so good because of his upbringing. He can quote chapter and verse with the best of them. With the best.
I love that.
And do the linguistics and the context that make it actually the original intention and not the manipulated baloney. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Definitely going to check him out. Definitely. And I'm sure that as soon as I see him, I'm going to go, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, listen, we are almost at the top of the hour.
Oh, my God, that went by so fast.
I know.
Wow.
And I'm going to take a little bit of a break. And I'll be on again at 7 Mountain Time for Taco Tuesday. And I'll be doing Taco Tuesday with Gary because David has a work thing, whatever. I just think he's, he just wants a day off because.
Get some fluids into you. You're, all that hot air, you're
yes.
Moisture.
Yes.
No,
I'll do it. Yeah. A little more Dayquil. I've got some more juice up here and something hot. And I'll just keep doing
what
that.
What you need is what my grandmother used to give us when we had a bad cold. She'd make hot boiling water, a little bit of brown sugar at the bottom, some Irish whiskey, and some lemon juice. That would make you sweat so bad and you feel great. And then you'd sleep because you coughing and you can't sleep. You'd sleep.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Probably against the law for children. It worked.
Hey, I've been looking at. I decided, we're probably going to have Italian for supper tonight. Partly because I saw the garlic that was there, and I thought, I bet if I have a whole bunch of fresh garlic, can't hurt. So, and it's not like I'm going to be kissing anyone later on, so that's all good.
Oh,
anyway, thank you, folks, for joining us. As I said, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take a look at Helen's contact info. It's all down in the description of the video. Yeah, get in touch with us if you're interested in getting a personal reading. It kind of gives you a little bit of a roadmap on what you can expect and whatnot. So thank you everyone. And Helen, as always, fabulous. We'll do this again.
Thank you. Marina, we haven't even planned what we're going to say yet. we're running out of time.
I
Oh
know.
my God.
I know that. You know what? That's what happens when you get together with friends and there's coffee or tea involved, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what
That's right.
time is it?
That's so right. It's
I gotta go.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
always a pleasure.
And I appreciate everybody who watches. I apologize that I don't pay
Yeah.
attention to I can't see it.
Yeah, and
like
that's okay.
Mrs. Magoo, you know.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a great evening. I'll see you later. Bye for now.
Fungifoil.